Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto under 20 total carbs each day. Well, I'm the one that, is the strict one, is the consistent one, is the structured one, and the one that I'd like for you to think that you can count on day to day to give you some honest assessment of what is going on out there. And I don't get into charts and graphs and this doctor says and that doctor says. I get into how you feel about you and your program. And the most important thing I think you can remember about me is I'm consistent. And I don't get pulled in directions of trendy things or fad things or what worked for somebody else must be what's supposed to work for me. Let me change everything. I don't get that way. I just wake up and I make a nice meal, and I do track and weigh and measure. So I have a general idea of what it is that I'm having. And so it's just a nice little studied discipline that I have found that works for me. And that is part of my being consistent. I'm consistent in my little rituals and routines. If you watched me with my morning water and powders and then my coffee, you would say, man, she's turning this like into this sacred ceremony. Yeah, it is. It's very sacred to me, both the water and the first coffee that I make when I wake up. I love it. And so in my morning routine, I have triple filtered water. We have 3 filters and or 2 coming into the house, and then that one that I have on top of the counter that's for lead and fluoride to take all the nasty stuff out. And I'll have that, and it's it holds 20 ounces, but then I squeeze 1 whole lemon onto my powders. And my powders are, I've switched from magnesium citrate to magnesium glycinate. And that was on a recommendation from somebody that say you need more magnesium, but you don't need the effects of magnesium on your bowels. And so I switched up. And so I'm trying that out. I'll let you know I'll report back to you on how that all works after I've been on it for a while. And then I have 1/4 teaspoon of potassium. And then I have some pink Himalayan salt. And I sprinkle a little Dr. Price's electrolytes on it. It's sweet and it's sweetened. And so I just sprinkle some of that on because the powders are rather bitter. And so I squeeze the lemon into that, and I don't have it because if you squeeze the lemon into your water and then heat up your water like tea or hot water like I like, or warm water, you could be killing the vitamin C, and that's the point of me having 1 citrus item at least per day. And so I'll squeeze that on, Celtic salt crystals on my tongue, warm up the water, and I will have that, and I will take my my thyroid pill and then have some of that powder mixture, some water, and just until those things are gone. And I put the new salt, I have 1/4 teaspoon of new salt for the potassium in my second glass of water with my supplements at around 11-ish in the morning. And so then I will have my coffee, and it's a sacred routine for both of those things. Into my coffee, I put a heaping tablespoon of diatomaceous earth, also known as DE. Google it if you don't know what it is and you don't know what some of the benefits are. I've been doing it for a long time, but I also like the froth that it makes in my Ninja bullet. And so it's like a frothy latte. I have 15 grams of heavy whipping cream and a 1/2 tablespoon of Xyla in my coffees. And so that will be the morning routine. And so I whip that up and enjoy the froth with a spoon like it's a soda fountain treat. Then I have the rest in my mugs. And that's how I enjoy my day kicking off. And it's a nice, consistent routine for me. I use the chronometer in my phone, and When I'm working the overnight shift, I will often put in 7 days worth of foods and tweak them at the last minute. It's another consistent thing that I do. Because today I am having three proteins, eggs, pork, and beef on my plate to go with my little salad for my OMAD, and so the final weigh-in will happen because I cut up all the pork that I'm having, so each piece could weigh something different. Same with the sirloin tips that I'm having; they could weigh different, and so at the end I'll do that. So the final tweaking, as far as my macros are concerned, my protein, fats, and carbs, doesn't really come until the presentation of everything. The salad is the salad, so the carbs are pretty much there and counted for. But that's part of my consistency. I don't guesstimate. I don't throw something on a plate and say, yeah, that's 4 ounces, and then go to weigh it and it's really 5.3. That's that. It looks like a good idea. I don't really need to measure, do I? That's where I could get into trouble because I have portion distortion, and I'm a clean plate member as well as a no matter what member, and sometimes those could be conflicting if I wasn't weighed and measured. And so, yeah, I'm gonna eat my stomach. I eat everything that I make for my OMAD. Although there have been a couple of times where I couldn't finish, but that's rare, and the way I like my steak. And so try to be consistent. And consistent is the one thing that no matter what happens in your food journey, your healing journey, your getting your health back journey, consistency is key. Consistency is going to make the difference between kind of successful, kind of once in a while I do this, to a nice, good success for your health, for your scale, for your day. And when, like in my case with my sacred moments with the water and the coffee, and then my OMAD, those things matter. They do matter long term, day after day after day, because I can look back and know that indeed I was consistent no matter what. All those sort of things that we talk about here, is it boring? Yeah, to some people, because there's no magic, there's no quick, there's no fast acting, there's no you won't believe how everything melted off of me, there's no great big whooshes. I'm 68. Every day I get up and I just do it the way that I did it before. Have there been changes in my food plan since I began keto? Of course there have been. That's the N=1. What works, what doesn't work. I like my veggies, and I like to have veggies every day, either a salad or some of the other things. I like asparagus, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower. And those are the 3 things that I kind of stick with, and they work for me. So I have them on a continuing basis, but my portions are smaller and my plate is small. So when I put the items on the plate, it might only be 25 grams of something, but to me, it's exciting because I'm not denying myself those darn beloved Brussels sprouts. And so my body likes the veggies. I thought at one point I could be carnivore, but it wasn't for me. Do I support it? 150% I support it. And if you're carnivore and watching me, just know that my heart is in carnivore. I am very carnivish. I have lots of protein every day, and then I have my small serving of either the salad or the veggie, and so it just works for me, consistently so. Is the scale the major focus of my attention? It was when I first began. I mean, how can it not be? That's why a lot of us start our keto. This is before we get into the non-scale victories, and we see that, oh my goodness, there's other things besides the scale going down. And then we get to work on enjoying the non-scale victories Do we hit stalls? Yeah. I mean, is it a stall or is it just nature's way of doing what nature does? You know, we're not going to be successful every single week losing 2 to 3 pounds every single week. Or if you buy those magazines, you can lose 10 pounds a week on keto. Oh, okay. As if it's going to be like week after week after week. No. It's a turtle's progress, and that's why I call us turtles. And it's snowflake progress, which is n equals 1, which is every snowflake is different. So are we. And for a lot of us, once you go keto or carnivore, it's really hard to return to the standard American diet, which is going from a pickle back to being a cucumber. You can't undo the pickle. You can't. It just is what happens. And so we mosey along this wonderful journey, not asking for much. We take care of ourselves. We tweak when necessary. And I'm a firm believer of when the gig is up, the gig is up. And that's when you institute the tweak and you're much better for it. Sometimes we go from a tweaked place back to the other place because we found that the tweak wasn't as good as we hoped. We don't plan jump. You know, a lot of people do because they get frustrated or bored. They don't like being a turtle. They want instant, quicker, faster, new. And so they listen to somebody else and it seems like a good idea and they might go back to doing something that might not work for them. But that's what we have to do to get there. That's the nature of our being human. Sometimes we just have to bounce around a little bit before we settle in and take food off of the, take food off of the billboard. It's food, it's food, it's food. And we get back into it's life, it's life, it's life, and doing what you need to do. And so that's why we join in here every day, because you're going to hear that consistent message of keep doing what you're doing. You are on the right path. You're not being silly or foolish. You're not trying to game anybody because you're only gaming yourself. You're not trying to shortcut something. You're not trying to get away with something. You are treating your food like the medicine that it is. And you are going to be one happy, satiated, content camper. Trust me. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom in Food. Join me here most every day with something and Friday with a friend. And if you would like your spotlight of being interviewed, do contact me at parkersposey28@gmail.com. I will put my email address below, and then we can have a little chit-chat. I love it. Friday with a friend. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.